Magic Tree House. Time of the Turtle King. Written by Mary Pope Osborne. Chapter 1. To a Port Far Away. Knock, knock. Jack opened his eyes and looked at his clock. It said 6:13 a.m. It was Tuesday, a school day, but school didn't start for another 2 hours. Knock, knock. Why was someone knocking on his door? Jack wondered. Come in, he murmured. The door opened. Annie slipped into the room. Guess what? She said in a hushed voice. You won't believe it. I saw an albatross flying outside my window. A what? Said Jack. An albatross, said Annie. A huge white bird that flies over the ocean. It can fly or float on the water for years without ever touching land. And it was circling our house. You're right. I don't believe it, said Jack. He rolled over and closed his eyes. No, it was real, I promise, said Annie. It was a messenger from a faraway place. I'm sure of it. Like that oxpecker bird that only lives in Africa. Remember? It led us to the grasslands. Jack suddenly felt fully awake. Oh, he said. He sat up. Maybe we should check it out. Yes, come on, let's go, said Annie. Okay, but we have to be back in 15 minutes before Mom and Dad wake up, said Jack. Meet you outside, said Annie. Right, said Jack. Annie left Jack's room. Jack changed into his jeans, a t-shirt, and a hoodie. Then he slipped down the stairs and met Annie on the front porch. The morning was gray and chilly. Annie was looking at the early September sky. Do you see the white bird? Asked Jack. No, said Annie, frowning. Let's check the woods. Okay, but we'd better make it fast, said Jack. Jack and Annie left their porch. They hurried across the yard and up their street. Hey, I see it now, said Jack. Oh man, it's huge. The albatross was flying above the Frog Creek woods. It has the widest wingspan of any bird on earth, said Annie. It's incredible, said Jack. He and Annie dashed across the street and into the woods. As they ran, a cool breeze made the leaves rustle. Early morning birds were calling out to each other. Jack and Annie ran between the trees until they came to the tallest oak. They looked up. Good work, said Jack. The magic tree house was back. Thank the albatross, not me, said Annie. The giant white bird was circling high above the treehouse. It dipped down for a moment. Then it soared off into the gray sky. We're on our way, Annie called after the albatross. She and Jack scrambled up the rope ladder. As soon as they were inside the treehouse, Jack saw a piece of paper on the floor. He picked it up. Morgan's handwriting, he said. He read aloud. Your badges are magic. You'll be what they say. Clip them on when you land in a port far away. Show them to strangers, and they'll all agree. No matter your age, experts they'll see. But the expert to find, the one to admire, is the one you must save from a river of fire. Be honest and gentle, no need to be smart. Just look eye to eye and talk heart to heart. Magic badges? Said Annie. She and Jack looked around the treehouse. There, said Jack. He pointed to 2 badges tucked in a corner. Annie grabbed them. They look like name tags, she said, but they're blank. Annie handed one of the badges to Jack. It had a clip to attach it to a piece of clothing. Jack looked at Morgan's rhyme again. According to this, we put them on when we land, and then we each become an expert. But what kind of expert? Said Annie. I don't know, said Jack. It seems we're about to know tons of stuff about something, like, about animals. Oh, I only know a little compared to a real expert, said Annie. Then I wonder what kind of real experts we'll be, said Jack. He looked around the treehouse. The only book he saw was the Pennsylvania book that always took them home. Darn, no research book, Jack said. Like our last trip, said Annie. Yeah, but at least then we had a little brochure to read, said Jack. Oh, said Annie. I get it. Morgan said we'd turn into experts. If we're experts, we won't need lots of extra information to help us. Maybe, said Jack. Okay, let's go. He looked at Morgan's note again. I think if we point to the words, a port far away, the treehouse will take us there. Wait, what's a port exactly? Asked Annie. You know, a town where ships and other boats go in and out, said Jack. It's usually beside the sea. Oh, right, makes sense, said Annie. That's where an albatross would hang out for sure. Let's try it. Jack pointed to the words, a port far away. I wish we could go there, he said. The wind started to blow. The treehouse started to spin. It spun faster and faster. Then everything was still. Absolutely still. Chapter 2. Morgan's Magic. A soft sea breeze blew into the treehouse. Jack heard birds cawing and waves crashing. He inhaled moist, salty air. Nice clothes, said Annie. We look good. Yeah, we do, said Jack. They were both wearing long-sleeved green shirts with pockets, baggy tan cargo pants, and hiking boots. They looked out the window together. The treehouse had landed in a palm tree. The tree stood at the edge of a long white beach. Sunlight sparkled on gentle ocean waves. There's the beautiful bird, said Annie. An albatross was gliding on the wind. Seagulls and blackbirds with huge wings also circled above the beach. Out in the ocean, a motorboat was speeding toward a dock that extended beyond the shoreline. Okay, a motorboat, said Jack. We must not have gone very far into the past. I see trucks, too, said Annie. She pointed to 2 white pickup trucks parked near the beach. And our clothes. Ready to climb down? Wait, our badges, said Jack. Oh, right, said Annie. She handed Jack his badge. Jack and Annie clipped the badges to the pockets of their green t-shirts. Ready now, said Jack. Annie gasped. Wait, something's happening to our badges. Jack looked at Annie's badge. One at a time, letters were magically appearing until they spelled Annie, World Turtle Expert. World Turtle Expert? Jack said. He looked down at his own badge. It now said, Jack, World Turtle Expert. But what does that mean? Said Jack. It means we're world turtle experts, said Annie. But what does that mean? Said Jack. It means we're world turtle experts, said Annie again. Get it? Turtles? Really? Said Jack. He looked out the window. To his surprise, his mind was suddenly filled with expert turtle information. Oh, I know where we are now, he said with wonder. We landed on Isabella Island. It's part of the Galapagos Islands." "Right," said Annie, looking with him. "The Galapagos belongs to the country of Ecuador. Any turtle expert would recognize this place." "Of course," said Jack. "It's world famous for having the biggest tortoises in the world. The Galapagos giant tortoises." "The kings and queens of the turtle world," exclaimed Annie. "I love giant tortoises." "Who doesn't?" said Jack. "Most of the Galapagos is a national park to protect wildlife. On the islands, you'll find 15 different... Suddenly, Jack shook his head. Wait. Well, this is too weird. Let's take these off." He unclipped his badge from his shirt. Annie did the same. "I don't know what I'm saying," said Jack. "I never knew anything about these islands before. I've never even heard of them. And turtles? Really? I never knew anything about turtles." "Well, we do now, when we wear our badges," said Annie. "Get it? They instantly turned us into turtle experts and gave us a bunch of knowledge." She picked up their note again. "Listen. Your badges are magic. You'll be what they say. Clip them on when you land in a port far away." "But this is too strange," said Jack. "I don't feel like myself. I don't sound like myself." "I know, but it's fun," said Annie. "I love being a world turtle expert, don't you?" I don't know," said Jack. "Hey, it's just like the time Morgan gave us magic baseball caps, remember?" said Annie. "When we wore them, we instantly became bat boys in a major league game. We knew everything we needed to know." "Yeah, right, we did," said Jack. Annie read more from the note. "Show them to strangers, and they'll all agree. No matter your age, experts they'll see." "Wow, this is so incredible," said Annie. "When strangers see our badges, they'll totally believe we're grown-up experts. They won't see us as know-nothing kids." "How's that possible?" said Jack. "It's Morgan's magic," said Annie. "Remember when people saw us wearing the magic baseball caps? They thought we were both teenage boys." "Yeah, till a fan stole my cap," said Jack. "Then everyone saw me as a kid lost on the ball field." "Right, that was a disaster," said Annie. "Just make sure you don't lose your badge. Keep it clipped to your shirt. Come on, let's go. Let's be world turtle experts for a day." Jack laughed. "Yeah, okay," he said. They both clipped their badges back on. Suddenly, Jack began rattling off more information. On the Galapagos Islands, there are 15 different kinds of giant tortoises. In fact, there are 5 kinds on this island alone. They live on... "Wait, stop," said Annie. "You don't need to tell me. I know all this information too. Let's go meet those turtles. Come on."